Back when I used to shave my head and keep my head shaved, I got some tattoos on my head. And one of them, right here, I don't know if you can see it, says, "We the people." I didn't get that because of the preamble on the Constitution, because I don't believe in the Constitution and never have. I got that out of sarcasm. A few of my tattoos, people misunderstand and think they assume they know the meaning of them, but I got them for a whole different other reason. The we the people, I do believe in the concept of we the people, you and me. But I don't believe in the concept that I can speak for you, or you can speak for me, or anyone else can speak for us. We the people, as in all of mankind, all the people in America, all the people all over the world, whatever. The so-called representative government that the constitutional republic supposedly is sounds pretty, but in reality, it's just another ugly turd of tyranny on the big pile of shit called statism. You know, the Monty Python movie, I believe it's The Holy Grail, where the guy comes up to him and says, "I'm your king." And the guy goes, "I didn't vote for you." That's my feeling. People say, well, if you don't vote, you don't have a right to complain. How can you get that? In reality, if you play in that game, you have a right to complain. It's gambling. I don't gamble. But if you gamble and you lose, it's your fault. To arbitrarily assume to be able to speak or arbitrarily claim to be able to speak for another human being is the height of arrogance and the lack of recognition of individual sovereignty and a lack of respect for other humanity, for other human beings. So the whole representative thing is bullshit. Let us not forget that there was an anti-constitutionalist movement in this country in the 1800s, and some of the people that were in that were Thomas Jefferson, Patrick Henry, the guy that's famous for "Give me liberty or give me death," also said when he was speaking of the Constitutional Convention, he said, "I smell a rat." And another member of the anti-constitutionalist group was Samuel Adams. There was quite a few of them. Now, you may say anti-constitutional group. Yeah, they were called the Anti-Federalists in your history books, but they were anti-constitutionalists. Howbeit, they all were statists to some degree or another. They at least understood what the U.S. federal Constitution, many of you patriots worship as a holy writ of Jesus. They realized what it was. And as Lysander Spooner, the great constitutional lawyer come anarchist in the 1800s, as he said, to paraphrase him, the Constitution either created the tyranny we have today, and he was speaking of his day in the 1800s, or it was not strong enough or too weak to prevent it. And in either case, it is unfit to exist. And he used to be a lawyer, one of America's early, well-known anarchists. I love how people say, well, we the people just simply refers to us people. We are the government. I hear people say that. People comment that under my videos, have off and on for years. And that is the biggest myth. I love how Larkin Rose even deals with that issue in his book. I got back there. I presented another video of mine, The Most Dangerous Superstition, which is the superstition that we need government, where he also points out this, and many other of my fellow non-statist, voluntarist anarchists point out the whole bullshit myth that, well, government just simply means the group of people. That's bullshit. Now, first off, before I go any further, let me point out that some people, the QAnon type people, the Anons of the Q, and the Trumpites and things like that, and the common law patriot types and things like that, like to say, well, the United States federal government the Constitution was a good thing until I believe it was 1871, when Washington, D.C. was founded and you had the Rothschild banks and all that. Then the U.S. became a corporation. That is the biggest bold-faced fucking lie coming out of patriots. Well, that's certainly one of them of today. All you have to do is look up the generic definition of corporation and then look up out of any legal book, legal source, the legal definition of corporation. The United States Constitution was a founding corporate charter when it was made public in 1789, when it was ratified by a select group of people who just arbitrarily claimed that they were going to be the leaders and the rulers of the people. The whole we the people idea is a collectivist idea. Now, a lot of these people that believe in a republic are all against communism and socialism, but all statism is socialism to one degree or another. It doesn't matter if it's a monarchy, communism, democracy, republic, a parliamentarian type system. It doesn't matter. Collectivism is basically, the definition of it is prioritizing the group or the collective over the individual. The individualism is subordinate to the social collective. Now, people will point out people like Hitler or Lenin or something like that and say how bad that is, but that's the same thing. So to me, I got my tattoo, we the people, as a fuck you, that, yeah, we the people. That's a generic term of we, the fellow humans here in America, or all over the world for that matter. No one little small group can claim to represent us. It's a farce. It's a fraud. It's invalid. It's bullshit. No group can represent the whole. That's impossible. Or everyone, unless every individual says so specifically that you can represent. I never gave anyone right to represent me. I didn't vote for you. So I don't care if you claim to be my king. No representative or group of so-called representatives has true claim and no right, no moral, natural, or ethical right to assume they represent the whole of everyone or every individual. The whole we the people thing in the Constitution, this myth that the Constitution represents all of us, is bullshit. No statist system can ever represent every human being. And especially if the human beings choose to not take part in that silliness. Now, people will say, well, if you don't vote, you don't have a right. To me, that's like if you have a restaurant, you're going to meet a bunch of friends or family or what have you, and go to a big restaurant, and you're late getting there. Or you go off to the bathroom. Or you find a table of friends and you stop by that friend real quick and you start talking to them. Well, then the waiter or waitress comes by. And so your friends just say, well, to make it easier on us, we're going to go ahead and order for him too. So they order for you too. And they order the steak for you. And you wanted the shrimp. And they'll say, well, it's too bad. You should have been here and ordered. So you're just going to have to eat that. You're going to have to accept that. You have no right to complain. That's what that is. And this is mistreatment of human beings. Statism is a mistreatment of your fellow human being. This whole myth that, we got to get together. We got to all agree on something. The only thing human beings need to agree on is to respect one another's individual sovereignty. Human beings can get along just fine without government. The greatest superstition, as Larkin Rose points out in his book, and the greatest myth ever, and there's many of them, is not that there's a God in the sky or anything like that. The greatest myth and superstition is that we need a group, a cabal, a group of people to get together to represent and have to assume their authority over us and their power over us. That is disgusting to me. We the people means, when I said, I'm going to get a tattoo, we the people on my head, it was, it's we the people, all right. Meaning, in my mind, that there's no way any corporation, U.S. federal government, U.S. constitutional republic, whatever you want to call it, your state government, your county government, your city governments, world government, no way it can possibly represent you or all human beings. And if you don't represent the right of the individual, you can't claim to represent the right of the collective. A lot of people, these constitutionalists, they hate the idea of groupthink and hive mind and the Borg, resistance is futile, you will be assimilated into the Borg of the constitutional republic. No. And then they'll say, well, you were born into this system. So that's kind of like when you were born in Europe, you're just born under a king. So you had to obey that king or that lord. Or that, if you're in Egypt, that pharaoh or that emperor or whatever. That's horse shit. That's an insult to your fellow human being. No human being has a moral or natural right to claim that they can rule over another person and claim they're their authority. So the Constitution, as Lysander Spooner, the lawyer I just mentioned, said, the Constitution of no authority. It has no true moral or natural authority to arbitrarily claim, oh, we're going to represent you. There is no one that represents me but me. Now, if I individually said to that person, yeah, I want you to represent me on this particular situation, like, yeah, when we go to the restaurant, you're going to be there before me. Go ahead and order me the steak or the shrimp or whatever I want, or the burrito plate or whatever it is. But the whole concept of representative government is such a goddamn farce. It's such a myth. It's a founding corporate charter document. Any lawyer will tell you the original Constitution, it was a corporate founding. It was a legal document founding in legalism, founding a corporation called the United States federal government. It didn't happen. It happened in 1789, kids, not 1871. That was the DC thing and all that. Listen, that would have never happened if there was never a U.S. government and constitution in the first goddamn place. Statism is what's brought us all this tyranny, medical tyranny, all this tyranny, corporate censorship, all of that. Corporations like big tech corporations, big banking, whether it be Walmart, whether it be Facebook, whether it be a big bank like Citibank or something like that. Do y'all not understand what creates corporations in the first place? Legalism, government. Without government, like I and Lysander Spooner and Larkin Rose and many other anarchists would like, without government, there is no corporations. There may be gangs. They can still wear their colors and still claim they're over you. We'd all recognize them for what they really are. They're just a gang. They may have a name, a collective name, the Warriors, or whatever they want to call themselves, but we all know what they really are. Hell's Angels, whatever. The Crips, the Bloods, whatever it is, we all recognize those have no legitimacy. And we should start recognizing no goddamn legalistic status system. And legalism would be gone. All that crap. Legalese that the common law guys like so much. That's legalese. That's that magic, the incantations and special words that you got to have. Legal definition. Fuck that. Fuck statism. Fuck the Constitution. We the people, we all are individual human beings who deserve to be right and represent ourselves.